This week we're drinking more vacation beers. This is episode 117 of the Malting Hour.
What's the hats on the hops? Got yeast, that's beast. This the Molten Hour where we talk about our drink and tell you what we think every other week. And if we get drunk, well, we might slur our speech. Got the gift of gab, the friends you wish you had. Join us for a drink, join us for a laugh. Time is never wasted, where you getting wasted. The Molten Hour here, people take your places. People take your places. People take your
Welcome to the Malting Hour. I am one of your hosts, Tony Golick, joined always with
Brandon Winninger.
Hey, Brandon.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I did not work all day, so
Yeah, I did,
yeah.
and my face is showing it, man, out in the sun. But it was for a good cause. My company got together. There's a lot. So I work in the fastener industry, which are like stop nuts and bolts and screws and shit like that. And a bunch of companies that we work with who all work in the that was loud, who work in the fastener industry got together with this company called what is it, Sleep in Heavenly Peace, and they build beds for children who are in situations where they don't have beds. So we hosted it, got to help build some beds, got these sound effects in the background are great.
Yeah.
I got there at 6 a.m. and left at 3 p.m. And this episode is being recorded yesterday. By the time this came out on August 20th here in Chicago, where it got really hot. I got really hot, and I was in the sun all day. I haven't been sunburned in a long time, and my face, my arm, my neck, my back, I'm not gonna quote the song. Everything is pretty much sunburn, and it's not terrible, but I don't like getting sunburned, man. It's not fun.
Yeah, I did not expect. I knew it was going to be hot because I looked up the weather just kind of see what the weekend was going to look like. But even coming home, like when I got out of the car this morning from coming
Where
back
were
from
you? Where
I was up in Wisconsin, outside of the Lake Geneva area.
The great northern suburb to Chicago, the whole state of Wisconsin.
Yep. Good friend of the show and good friend in general, Mr. Pat McHugh. His family's got a spot up there. I won't divulge where, but outside of Lake Geneva, and he was gracious enough to host some folks. Found out that he does this pretty much yearly. Host folks just for the weekend.
Fun
To come up and do some boating and stuff like that. And we didn't get to go up Friday night like most of the other people did. So they got to go like boating Saturday and tubing and do all that kind of stuff. And Benjamin and I just came up in the afternoon, which was kind of nice. Did some swimming, did some magnet fishing, getting a bunch of nails out of along his shoreline.
Any screws or bolts like in the fastener industry that I work in?
Yeah, surprisingly not. But literally all we found was nails. It was pretty.
Any 9-inch nails?
No, I don't think so. So did that, and then we went for a boat ride. Did that, grilled, had some dinner, and then kids kind of like lounged out on the couch trying to watch TV. And then it was like a wrestling match trying to get Benjamin to fall asleep because he just did not want to fall asleep. So I think finally at like 10:30 he passed out. And then 7 o'clock this morning he's like, "Dad, the sun's awake." I'm like, "Okay, so that means we're awake. We're doing this, all right? Well, which was fine because
it'd be funnier if he
woke
was
up
like,
and felt fine and just.
It'd be funny if he was like, "Dad, your son's awake." I mean, I'd be creeped out, but also if he said it though, I would not be creeped out because, like, yeah, that's par for the course. Something he might say, like, "Dad, your son's awake."
This looks like a little pretty impressive pour.
Yeah, I you know what? I got before we get into it, yeah, I got the same type of nice little foamy head on this, man. I'm excited about this beer. Yeah, sorry. So
Yeah. So that was, and then we just kind of packed up for the morning and headed back to the city. I stopped at a gas station and did my obligatory. I went to Wisconsin, so I'm bringing home some New Glarus beers.
I'm not sure if that's the same way for any other people who like craft beer who go up to Wisconsin. I know it's everybody that I know who likes beer, and you see posts and everything, and even people like who I wouldn't think do it, when they go to Wisconsin, they come back home with new glares.
Yeah, and I don't always do it. I would say 9 out of 10 times. So
I'm with you on that. There's maybe like a few times where I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to grab it this time, but most of the time I do.
Yeah, because it's always usually pretty good.
Well, we're not drinking any new glares tonight, though.
We're not.
What are we drinking tonight, Brandon?
So recently, last week, it's just over a week ago, I got back from actually a week ago today is when I got back from our family trip. We went out to Hilton Head in South Carolina, and while I was there, I picked up some beers from the area. And now, like, this is kind of like, when it comes to vacation beers, unless I find I drink a beer that I really like, moving forward, I'm going to buy beers that I didn't try just because I want to have the same kind of first reaction that everybody else is having when we drink these on the episode. So
I like that idea. I like being able to let's maybe if there's something that like you really like that you want to share and have everybody else try. And talk about on the episode, or also just bring some beers. Like, hey, we're all trying it for the first time.
Yeah, I get so specifically saying I'm not going to just bring back beers I haven't tried, but that's going to be my main focus. Is also buying stuff that I by the taste or by the name or the description sounds interesting to me. Bringing that back, and then just if if there's something that I really enjoyed that I think everyone else would like, I'll bring that too. But so we are drinking from Steel Hands Brewing out of Greensboro, North Carolina. It is their Pecan Brown Ale, an ale brewed with roasted pecans.
Very straightforward, simple description. I almost said description.
No. There is a description on the back. It says, our Pecan Brown Ale is a multi-sweet treat that balances hints of biscuit, caramel, and chocolate with the rich nuttiness from pecans. The pecans are harvested by hardworking South Carolina farmers and roasted to enhance their natural sweetness. No matter how you say it, pecan or pecan, it's beer. This beer was meant for gathering together, and it's 5.5%.
So much like anything else in my life, my wife is a witness to this. There's a lot of times where I look at things and I don't really look at them. I see them. I'm not really looking at them. I don't know if it's the other way around. I'm looking at things I don't really see it, type of deal. So I knew when I stopped by today and you gave me this beer that it was a brown ale. So I had that in my mind. And even when I went into, I can't even tell you what I know what the other two beers are by style. I don't know the names. I can't even tell you what the IPA can looks like, but my brain's like, oh, register it real quick and that's it, and move forward. So I knew there was a brown ale because you told me we're gonna, I got this specifically for you, and I even in my dark basement right now where I record on my site, I cracked this open, poured it, nice big foamy, almost like frothy white head on it, which
that was impressive. I should have taken a fucking picture then.
That would have been a great picture because that really was, it was a lot of head on it. And I took a sip through it to taste it. And the first thing that came to my head was, ooh, that's like, I know what you're going to say. There's like a nuttiness to it. I thought you were going to do it's a bit nutty. And I forget, and as you started reading it and I picked up the can, I was like, oh shit, that's right. There's pecans in here. And then I realized, I think from now on, what I'd like to do as we're, thinking of new ideas as we do this show on episode 100 and whatever, 17, you're clicking and I can hear the clicking, just so you know. But that's okay. Don't worry about it. I wanted to point it out if anybody wanted to know what that fucking noise was. It's click, click. Double clicks. You read the description and I already had a sip of it. So I already had the nuttiness to it and I had some caramel. And then there was, I think chocolate was one of the other descriptors. So, is that power of persuasion? Are you going to taste it or not? I didn't taste chocolate, but I got roasty caramel, nutty, a sweetness to it. And this is in the wheelhouse of brown ales that I absolutely love.
I didn't have that one loaded.
Well, it's funny because
I didn't have that one loaded. I deleted it last time just to make room for stuff.
I'm not sure if it's gonna play because the last time you tried doing some type of sound, it didn't play. But he did play the Austin
No,
Powers
so
theme.
just so you know, and I just because I think most of the time we leave them out, there is a separate track that records that is just all of the sound
Oh,
drops. So I will upload that too if you want to.
please do, because I like
Uh,
to keep it in there. I like all that stuff that you do. But this is in the wheelhouse of brown ales that I love, man. Clint from Lake Effect, I think, would agree with me because this is, man. I had two Bodums earlier from Half Acre, two
I
IPAs,
saw that.
because yeah, it was really tasty. Just enjoying my Sunday, my weekend, because I didn't get to stay up last night. Um, but this is, man, if I had this regularly available, I would get it a lot. There's a nice sweetness to it. There is a nice little roasty nuttiness to it, that like caramel flavor. There's no heaviness to it. It's not super sweet. This is like, this beer to me screams, hey man, we're knocking on fall's door. I
I
really,
was
really like it.
literally just gonna say this is like a borderline, fall weather beer for me.
And it doesn't have like, because there are some brown ales that I feel like, and I find this in a lot of dark darker roasted beers, like even like some Oktoberfest, where there's a bitterness that comes from the hops or the roasted grains that are just like kind of off-putting. And that's what I like about nut browns, or there's brown ales in general, that this doesn't have it. It is a really nice, just clean, smooth brown ale, nice roastiness, nice caramel. There's the nuttiness there too. It's just very enjoyable. And even like the orange can itself is like, man, this is, I mean, I know it was like almost 100 degrees today, but man, I am looking forward. I had some Oktoberfest and German beers this weekend, and I'm really looking forward to the fall weather beers. And this is right there. I feel like this is right up the alley, and a great. Thank you for thinking of me when you bought this beer.
Of course. Yeah, when I was picking up beers from New Glarus today, what's their Staghorn?
Yeah,
Is that their?
their Oktoberfest.
Yeah,
I love
I
I love
saw that. I
Staghorn.
was so
Staghorn's
tempted. I'm
delicious.
like, I'm just not ready. I'm not ready.
But you
But
should have bought it because we're getting close to that time where you have to record it.
yeah, I know. I have to go back to Wisconsin. But I did go.
Oh no, Tony and Brandon have to take a day and drive to Wisconsin real quick and bring Benjamin with them because they're going to show him the Mars Cheese Castle, and we also happen to bring back a whole bunch of new Glarus. Sounds like a terrible
Ooh,
weekend.
I
All
would.
right, there we go. I'll take it. Laura will be okay
I
with
need
it, and
any.
so will Becca.
I
So
need
will
any
Becca.
excuse to go to Mars Cheese Castle.
Be like, by the way, Becca, me and Tony are taking Benjamin up to Wisconsin for the day, and we're hitting Mars Cheese
Actually,
Castle and maybe do something else.
the weekend of the 8th, September 8th, Becca's out of town all weekend.
Let me check. Let me check. You know what? While we're recording, I'm going to check my calendar just to make sure that I'm free, because dude, that's a great idea. That's a really fun idea. Uncle Tony and on the 9th. Oh, I'm in Michigan. I'm sorry.
Wah, wah.
Ah,
Right.
what about Friday the 8th? We'll just go after work. No, we'll figure that out, because I think that'd be a lot of fun. There's I actually I have some free weekends in September, and I'm sure Becca also wouldn't mind if she's at home and you and I just take Benjamin and we go and we come back later in the day.
I
Give
gotta
mom
figure
a
out like
free day.
when. I think do I only have one free weekend in September? So I've got a wedding the first weekend. Becca's out the second weekend. The next weekend, is that right, Fest?
It is. You and I will be rocking and rolling
And then
all
there's only one
weekend long.
weekend left,
No,
right?
there's
Or
two
is there
more.
two?
There's the
Oh, the
23rd.
30th. That's
The
right.
23rd, I can't do anything. The 30th, I can. I'm free. Everybody, just so you know, I'm free on September 30th. Also,
If you want to
Brandon.
make plans with Tony, now's the
Also,
time.
Brandon, we can also look at some Sundays too. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I mean, Sunday the when I say Sunday, I mean Sunday the 24th would be the only Sunday I'm free. Shit. Oh man, there's a lot going on in September. But yeah, anyways, we'll figure that out. That'd be a lot of fun to take him up there. But you know, it's it is hard not to grab New Glarus beers.
yeah.
So
I also did grab. My wife enjoys strawberry rhubarb, so I grabbed that. And then I grabbed
you didn't
totally naked.
Did you grab Totally Naked, or they
Yeah,
didn't have it?
I did.
You didn't grab the Wisconsin Belgian Red?
I didn't see it.
Oh man,
Where I went, they had
that's like a must grab.
Oh,
For
if they
me.
had that, I would have grabbed it. But they had strawberry rhubarb and raspberry tart.
Mm.
And I know last
Which, by the
time,
way, both those I feel like
yeah,
are
last time I bought
very
raspberry
similar.
tart, and I didn't buy strawberry rhubarb, and I was like, yeah, I'll go with strawberry
Raspberry tart
rhubarb
I
instead.
actually like more than the rhubarb.
Um,
There's a smokiness too. I think the raspberry tart that I get, and I think it's from the raspberries. So
so one thing, so when we do Oktoberfest pumpkin beer, like whether it's a combined episode or not, I do
with
have
200 guests who all love those beers, actually just
I
two
I
guests.
found so in the beer fridge, one of the beers I did not throw out was last year's Yingling's Oktoberfest.
Oh, fantastic!
I'd be interested to
Did
see
we
how
have that?
that we probably
We
did, but I'd
did.
be curious to see how it holds
Oh,
up.
oh, yeah. I mean, you
I'm
kept
pretty
it
sure we
cold the
did.
whole
I think
time.
that's why I bought it.
Almost positive you did, yeah. But
Yeah.
there's so many. There's a lot out available now, and I think within the next 2 weeks, I will make a pilgrimage to Beer on the Wall and start stocking up. I already queued in Clark for that, by the way, which I tried to get Clark to sneak in tonight. And there was a good chance that we were going to do it to have him come and join us tonight just
Mm-hmm.
randomly. But then he and I also just remembered recently that tomorrow's the first day for CPS, Chicago Public Schools. So he's doing all that, getting kids ready to go to school. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. Which is why I have to wake up early and beat the rush by my neighborhood. Anyway, after all that, this beer is fantastic. Brandon, what do you think about this beer?
I enjoy it. The one question I was gonna have, so a lot of these descriptors in here um, would be almost how I would describe like a really good pecan pie. Do
Oh,
you
okay. Yeah,
do
yeah.
you
I
get
can
any of
see that.
that?
Yeah.
But like
Well,
in the
I
taste?
feel like this the sweetness and now pecan pie is sweet, like sugary, but there's
Yeah.
like a nice like back of the mouth sweetness to this that I like, and the nuttiness and the roastiness. Like, I mean, I love pecan pie. It's so
It
good.
reminds me that I have to eat the pecan pie that we have frozen from Fanny's.
Yeah, we should have that on an episode maybe, or like if you guys want to invite me over, I'll have it with you guys for dessert.
I almost thought I almost thought about like if we were gonna do this in person, like seeing if I could quick defrost it because I thought about it this morning and I was like, that would be awesome.
That pecan pie. Oh,
But then the
man.
other, so that the one beer, the other interesting beer, I wanted to get that food pairing to go with it, and I forgot to.
Oh man! Oh yes, yes, yes. Which I think would be really good. By the way, I have that beer sitting out to make sure
Oh
that it
shit!
is
I forgot to
closer to.
take it out.
Well, that's okay. You don't have to run away from the mic right just yet. Actually, unless you want to go right now, because I'll keep talking about this beer. Because I actually just sent you a message saying I'm gonna run and grab the IPA, but you
Go
can grab.
ahead.
Well, I mean, what I'm trying to do is run through this without stopping, so I don't have to have a large edit as we're doing another Sunday night episode. If I don't have to do a bunch of editing on a Sunday night episode, oh, that's great. It's the
I'm
best.
already
And
back, so
when we do it this way. How about this? I'm gonna give me like 30 seconds. What I want you to do is to talk about this beer and what you like about it and say nothing negative about me. Here we go.
this beer was delicious. I was actually, so I did tell Tony I originally got it for him because Tony is a big fan of brown ales and always talks about brown ales and how much he enjoys them. And I enjoy a good brown ale too from time to time. And I do enjoy pecans. I enjoy like not all things pecans, but like, dude, pralines from like Savannah. We were out in Savannah and we got those pralines from River Street. So good.
That would have been a good. That would have been a good Wayne's World thing to drop. Yeah, if he was an ice cream flavor, he'd be pralines and dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love candied pecans. They're the best. This is so
Oh,
fucking tasty.
and I still have some left, and I don't think Becca likes them. And I don't know why it's this shitty artificial flavor. But we were coming back from South Carolina. I don't know if we had crossed into Georgia or where we were, but anyways, there was peaches on the side of the road. So I said I'm going to go get some peaches. So I went in, grabbed some peaches, and then I went into this gas station slash market slash like everything else you need in a rural countryside place. And they had boiled peanuts, so I got us some boiled peanuts, and I know Tony's favorite.
Yeah, Danny, I love that.
Roadside boiled peanuts are the best, and they had candied pecans. So they had sweet and salty ones, sweet
Yes.
and spicy. I think I got sweet and spicy, and then they had key lime. And
Interesting.
I got the key lime ones because I thought Becca would like that, and she had it, and she's like, "These are kind of gross. It tastes artificial." I'm like, "These are fucking delicious."
Oh man, let me get some of those
I was like,
because
I don't know why, and it was like a little. It came in a little like snack size Ziploc, and we still have some left because I just grabbed like 2 or 3 at a time, and I like that kind of satisfies me. But I'm like, these are really fucking good.
dude, I housed the fucking boar jerky you gave me yesterday. Like
Was it good?
oh, it's so good.
I
It's
haven't
really,
tried it.
really
I
good.
bought some too, so
Yeah, I really liked it. I didn't do the lamb jerky yet, but the I knew because I wasn't sure about the lamb one, and I wanted like, and it's a great package size because you could have it broken up into like a couple of sittings or anything, but like it was the perfect like snack amount because it's got to be like what 2 or 3 ounces of like jerky in that
probably.
the package, so it's not overkill. But I did definitely eat the entire thing. Like I sat there and I was watching something and I'd eat a little bit, eat a little bit, eat a little bit, so much that like my temples and my jaw got like that tightness and sore from eating jerky.
Yeah.
That's so good. Boar jerky is so tasty. Um, I would definitely try those key lime pecans. I love the farmers market here in Portage Park. There's a place that does, and I think you told me they're like out of Florida or New York or something, like the actual
Something like
company
that,
or
maybe.
something like that. But they had like Evan Williams bourbon candied pecans that we used in salads, and then I would just snack on them. They're just so good. Like pecans are
I don't
great.
know. I don't know why they just reminded me of the bacon from Beer Under Glass. It just made me like.
Oh man, the greatest bacon
I've got to
ever
go back to that
created.
website. Like the woman commented on the episode, I think, and told
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
So
Mentioned
yeah,
what the name of the company was. Yeah,
yeah.
that's another random purchase we got to do. All right, Brandon, how many candied? No, not candied. How many pecans are you giving this beer?
I'm going 4.5.
Yeah, I'm
I significantly enjoyed this. I would seek this out.
significantly enjoyed it. I like that.
I greatly enjoyed this. I would seek this out again. I don't know if this is seasonal. I have to look it up. I want to see if it's seasonal. But like, if I do find myself in North Carolina, South Carolina, like on the East Coast again, I would 100% pick this up again.
I'm with you, man. I just love in everybody knows it. I love a good brown ale, and this is there, man. That's there. That's a beer I would drink all year round. It does remind me of fall a little bit, a little autumnal. How do you say that? It's an autumn type beer for sure, but
Tastes like
also
autumn.
like you can drink this in spring. You can drink it in summer. There's nothing that specifically says you have to drink it around autumn, but it's just like a brown ale just kind of gets you closer to like getting from, you know, summer type beers, and then you're going to ease your way into the darker beers. A brown ale is the best way to do that. I'm with you. I'm going to go four, four on this 4-3. I, I'm not saying that you're wrong, by the way. We're going 4-5. I
I'm
like
not.
it. I, but yeah, I really like this, man. I would drink more of these beers. I definitely would drink more of these, and it really makes me want to brew a brown ale again very, very soon. Yeah. Speaking of brewing, by the way, a friend of ours that you know, Dana, she's a beekeeper. She and I for the last couple of years have been talking about.
So funny. Like, where are you from? Chicago. What do you do? I'm a beekeeper
Dude,
in
like
Chicago.
her videos are so
There's a
funny
lot of
of
people
like
that do it, but it's just so funny. Like, you think
she
so
like
country.
she's like the bee whisperer where she just like puts like she's got hives in her yard with chickens and stuff, and like she'll just like rub her hand, like she can just scoop up bees from the hive, and like here they are all on my hand. I'm holding up my hand so Brandon
Yeah,
can see that it's like a whole hand that's like full of
covered in
bees.
bees. You look like
Yeah.
Candyman.
That's what I'm gonna call her from now on. She has been talking for the last couple of years of doing like a mead, and today she stopped by and had honey in her trunk. Like she just has honey all the time. So I have 3 pounds of honey,
Ooh,
raw honey, and so she and I are going to try and make a Christmas type mead. and then she's going to drop off some honey by next weekend, so we can just do like a straight up regular mead. And I said one of those I'll throw in the 1 gallon keg and carbonate, and we'll see some sparkling mead. So there's some home brewing I'm doing soon, man. I'm going to do a mead, so I'm pretty excited about that. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when
cool.
that all.
Yeah, let me know how that turns out. Like mine, obviously went to shit. It's still sitting in the bottle.
Well, mine and Mike and Ike's, we tried to do 5 gallons of fucking mead, which was crazy.
It's
Because
a little overkill on your first time.
Let's throw in a bunch of fucking honey and water. Cool, it tastes like fucking nail polish remover.
You know what that sounds like? It's about as dumb as some homebrewers trying to brew 55 gallons to throw into a fucking bourbon barrel for the first time.
We were so close, though. Like, I thought we had like a really good plan there, and it just fucking sucked. Well, also when you rinse, when you're rinsing, I don't know why that happened, but we rinsed. Like, that shows how much we didn't know.
Don't say we. Paul.
I was gonna say the person, Paul. Yeah. But nobody corrected him. He rinsed it out in a kiddie pool. It didn't have to be rinsed. It just needed to be we just needed to put some booze in there.
And that's what's so hilarious about it is like Myke is so kind of like by the book, and he like reads about this shit. Like when we were doing like the hardcore brewing, like he would look it up and like be like, "Oh, it's the best way." Like didn't even do anything with that until after it got infected, and he's like, "Oh, maybe you should have read something."
Oh, well, and then we learned from it, and then we did our own, which, by the way, I still have 5 gallons of barrel-aged beer in a keg.
Oh, my God.
Whatever.
I wonder if it's changed.
I hope maybe it changed for the best. We'll find out.
Anyways, I know it had gone off for you, so.
I know we've reached a point where I would normally say, hey, let's take a break, but I want to spend the second half of the show on the last beer and then stuff we got coming up, because we do have some stuff coming up and we're getting towards a fun time of the year. We already kind of touched on like Oktoberfest and pumpkin beers and stuff like that, but we've got some stuff. So I say let's get into the next beer, man. I already opened it, so I'll read it. I know you're about to do it. There he is. It looks like it's from Palmetto Brewing. By the way, Palmetto, if I'm not mistaken, it's a tree in the South.
Yes.
I
think that's their form of like a palm tree.
Also, there's palmetto bugs. You know what palmetto bugs are? They're fucking flying cockroaches. That's what I learned when I lived in Georgia back in 1999. There's flying cockroaches. Fuck that.
It was
disgusting.
We had cicadas on.
Cicadas are one thing. They just can't see.
But it was still, so the house that we were in, the indoor pool wasn't necessarily indoor. It was in a screened in like back porch area. It was massive. But then like the cicadas were landing on the screen and like just sitting there and just, fucking making noise and everything like that. It was like, and like we were walking out the door once at night. We were going to go walk over the beach. There was a massive one, dude. I'm like, this is the biggest cicada I've ever seen in my life. It was ridiculous.
That's insane. So this beer has been around for a while. It looks like it was added back in 2016. Crazy thing is, I tried to go to their website, and their website is suspended, so I can't even go and look up. Charleston.
So here's an interesting tidbit on the back of the can. It says brewed and canned by Made by the Water LLC, New Orleans, Louisiana.
What the fuck? So maybe they're contract brewing now, or I don't know how to.
Got shut down, and somebody's
Palmetto Brewing, brewed and canned and made by the Water LLC. Okay, well, regardless, this beer first appeared, or at least added on Beer Advocate, back in March 2nd, 2016. I'm going to read the description of it, baby. Our downtown Charleston version of a wheat India Pale Ale has a generous and inviting head that releases a sneak peek to the complexity beneath. Now close your eyes and inhale the floral of Chinook hops, which introduce you to the unique aroma. And wait, what? Confederate jasmine. What the fuck does that mean? Yeah, that's what it says. Followed by subtle wafts of citrus and flower provided by Citra hops. I was going to say Citra when I took a sip of this. What the fuck is Confederate jasmine? Is it racist jasmine? Yes. Is that what that means? With a name like jasmine, you wouldn't expect it to be racist.
It's a plant. It's a plant.
Oh, that plant should probably get a new name. Like no one's down with that, right? Like like my wife Laura's not gonna grow Confederate. Oh,
It has
also now known as Star Jasmine.
yeah, it's sweetly fragrant.
No. All right.
So
Well,
that's
anyways, so yeah, this beer is 7.2 ABV. It's an American IPA, Palmetto Brewing Company, or wherever in New Orleans, South Carolina. Here we go. Going in for the sip. Ooh, it smells good. It smells. Oh man, when do you know when this is canned? Can you see when? Does it say on there when it was canned? I'm not seeing it.
neither am I.
So I'm getting a little bit of like it may have sat there for a little bit. Smell.
It's possible.
But with that being said, I get.
But I did buy this, so I will say I did buy this from a Publix, and I do feel that some grocery stores it wasn't like a mix six thing, which I think like the build your own sit forever.
Oh yeah, no, I know. There's plenty of convenient or not convenient grocery stores that do actually pay attention to beers.
I feel like Publix would be better about that, but I don't know.
I don't know, man. There's
But I'm getting
Mariano's out in Harwood Heights. They've got fucking Lejeune sitting there from fucking February of this year.
Tell Gary.
He'd call them all cunts. But I'm not.
You cunts.
As far as this beer is concerned, for flavor wise, I get citrusy and I get floral. I don't get like that weird, like old candied type of beer that you'd get from an old IPA. Although going back into it, like I feel like it's on the cusp. It's on the cusp of maybe being an older beer. So you've not tried this. This is very much like a fruity, almost West Coast IPA to me. There's a nice like hop bitterness from it, and that's obviously I feel like coming more from the Chinook, and then we get more of the citrus notes from the Citra.
Yeah, and there's a strong malt body that I'm getting that kind of complements the sweetness and everything else.
Yeah, I think that malt body is what's bringing out that sweetness. That's complementing the hops. I think is what you meant.
And it's funny, like
your mouth.
It's very lager-esque in color. Like
I was gonna say same thing. Even being down
light.
here. Sorry, I keep muting my mic because I thought I was gonna vape longer, and I don't want to vape into the mic, so it keeps clicking in and out. But yeah, it does have. Yeah, we don't want that. The good old days of playing GTA with Mike. It has like it's a little darker than a lager. You know what I mean? Like it's got like that orangish amberish hue, not like hard amber, but like an orange amber, like an orange Christmas. No, a yellow, like old school yellow Christmas light mixed with the orange light. And I say that because I'm looking at old school lights that I have in my basement. I'm also burping. That's what that looks like. But man, I keep going back in to smell it. There is like an old beer, like an old IPA smell to it, just a little bit. It's dank, but I'm also getting like
when I like it's dank, not like the hop dankness. Like it's dank with like some tinny backbone or something. It's a little
I get like candied beer. Like old IPAs have like this weird candy aroma and flavor to it. It's like the sugar takes over, the sweetness takes over the hops, and the hops just kind of meld into it, so it gives you something else that's like here's citrus and then some pininess.
It's like, I'm trying to become a barley wine.
But the flavor doesn't reflect that. I don't feel like the flavor reflects that at all. It's just the aroma on it might be. So maybe the dry hops are just not hitting. It's an
I will say it's interesting that their website is suspended. They're very active on social media. So
that's so weird. I wonder if maybe they've updated a website and just like Google just has like old sites.
It's the website on the can. I would hope. I hope, fingers crossed, when we tag them in this, somebody listens, and then we find out more about this
situation
being brewed in New Orleans.
Also, if it's a possibility, can we get fresh? There it is. Can we get maybe like a super fresh batch of this? Is this like a regular thing? Like, can we just get like we just want a can? I don't even want a full like 6-pack. I don't want a case or anything. I just want one can of this fresh because I feel like there's a lot here.
Two cans would be fine.
2 cans, like the bird. Yeah, 2 cans would be fine. Just to be able to try this fresh because I feel like there's a lot here that we might be missing because of maybe it being a little stale. Maybe it's just been sitting out warm. Maybe it just be sitting out warm. Maybe it's just been sitting out like warm for too long in Publix. You know what I mean? Like maybe it just, if it was refrigerated, it'd taste a little bit fresher.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember. I think it may have been refrigerated when I picked it up, and then it sat in the car for a day. So that could have been my fault.
Bad, but like flavor wise, it's not bad. Like I actually really enjoy this. Like this is a very approachable. There's that nice, not sharp, but like a very like. If you can say like a bitterness between 0 and 100, this has like a bitterness in the back of my tongue that's like leaning on like 60%. You know, it's not like, oh man, that's like a super hot bomb, but it's like it's so right in where I want like a nice IPA to be, almost leaning closer to maybe like a pale ale, like a Fist City here in Chicago with Revolution.
Okay.
But like the fruitiness and the floralness of it is very nice. It's a very tasty beer. It's just the aroma kind of is a bit of a put off because I feel like maybe it's an old beer and I just spilled a bunch on me. So that might have a lot to do with it too.
I don't know if you saw this, but what do you think the IBUs are on this?
I don't. I'm going to go with 70 IBUs.
You would be incorrect.
Is it much lower?
Not much. 58.
Yeah. I think that makes more sense. 70's put. I don't know why I said 70. It's funny because I was like, well, it's funny because I was like, out of 100%, it's like 60% IBUs, and then I said, oh yeah, it's like 70 or like it's bitterness. I'm like 70 IBUs. You're like, it's 58. So I was right in the beginning.
You just
what an idiot!
You talked yourself out of it. This
is why you guys can't trust me on anything. Don't trust me on anything I say unless it's the Maltese or if I'm ranting. If it's like my rant, that's the only time you can trust me.
The rants are the worst.
Anyways, Brandon, how many Palmetto bugs are you going to give this one?
Ooh, Palmetto bugs.
You know what? Fuck that, because Palmetto bugs are gross. How many Palmetto trees are you giving this one?
For what it is, what I'm tasting, I'm going to go 3.8.
Okay.
3.9 maybe.
I'm there with you. I'm going like 3.8 as well. Oh, I got a text message. I'm going with 3.8 as well. And that's, I know we've talked about this before. We're like on Untapped, like 4 is like out of 5. Like when you go 4, it's like, yeah, that's like middle of the road and it's great. It's good. But it's also like beers I like just really, really enjoy. And I feel like 3.8, 3.9 that's very fair for this beer. Like, I feel like if this is what I'm thinking it is, like fresh, like, cause I don't feel like this is super fresh. If I had this super fresh, I feel like we're talking like 4.2, 4.3 maybe for an IPA. Like nice bitterness, nice sweetness. I love the floralness. I love the citrus to it. I feel like it's just, there's something that's not happening. I feel like it might be because it might be a little old, maybe a little stale.
Well, and then also, like, if it truly is coming from New Orleans, then yeah.
By the way, every time I hear New Orleans, in my head, the Simpsons episode, A Streetcar Named Marge, starts playing, where they did a production of A Streetcar Named Desire. And then the song New Orleans starts playing in my head. Anytime anybody says New Orleans, which by the way is one of the best episodes. I mean, Marge, is what's the character's name? Blanche Dubois. And Apu sings a song, and Ned is. Or no.
Ned's being Ned.
I think I'm mixing up names here, but it's one of the best. It was such a great Simpsons episode. But that's for our Simpsons podcast, which is not happening right now. But right now, we need to take a break from this podcast to get into the very last beer from Brandon's trip to the South. We'll be right back. it ended. Oh, we tried to do something different, and the break music just ended just in time for Brandon to come back and say,
"And we're back."
Welcome back, everybody. We're sipping on some
I
of
forgot to
Brandon's
hit the loop
vacation beers.
button.
No, it's fine. You know what? I kind of like this just off the cuff type music. So just so everybody knows, like I like the break music that we play from Fluid Minds. That was a nice little switch up. Like I was rocking out to that. I know it's like generic. Is that like a generic like music? Like that
I
also I
downloaded
feel
like
like
free use,
I feel like that also encompasses what Brandon and I listen to outside of the podcast. Like that.
nerds.
I mean, that was pretty rocking. Anyways, so here we are. We're back. We're opening up the last. Here she is. Everybody's favorite fucking mascot for the malting hour. The one, the only. Aggie
Jeez.
is back, and Brandon has her in his arms because that's all she wants, man. That's all she ever wants. She just. Oh my
Tangled up.
god. It's like Lion King. She's so sweet. Ah, the best cat. One of the best cats in the world I've ever met in my entire life. Anyways, Brandon, I know you were excited about this one. We talked about this last week. We were we were gonna do like a mystery beer for episode with these beers that or a couple of these at least, right? That you had got from
Well, mostly this one and the pecan one because I wanted to see if you could figure out what was in the brown ale.
which is funny because I feel like I would have. I like that's funny because I had mentioned that I got the nuttiness from it like
Well,
right
yeah,
away.
I feel like you would have nailed nuts. That's in there. And then this,
That's what they say about me, Tony, always nailing those nuts.
That's what she said.
Oh,
and then the second one, just because it is based off a pretty popular snack item. To see if you
absolutely.
could guess.
Which, by the way, we gotta get a goddamn soundboard when we're together, when we're all recording in the same place, because I really love when those sounds pop in and you're throwing it down there. Which is also why I want someone who is a producer to just kind of run the mixing board while we're recording. You could do it, but I'd rather you just we have the ability to do that, but someone who's mixing everything down. So Brandon, what the hell are we drinking?
We are drinking from Naked River Brewing Company, Chocolate Moon Pie Stout.
Heyo.
So Naked River is out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. And the description on the can is the brew that hung the moon. This incredibly rich, smooth, and creamy beverage is brewed with fresh baked moon pies in collaboration with Moon Pie, an all-American iconic snack.
Whoa, seriously? Fun.
Made with pride by Chattanooga Bakery Incorporated. So that's out of Chattanooga.
With Chattanooga Brewery, not bakery.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, so are the moon pies made in Chattanooga, Tennessee?
Yeah, it says.
Oh, fuck. My bad.
Fresh baked moon pies in collaboration with Moon Pie, an all-American iconic snack made with pride in Chattanooga Bakery Incorporated.
Okay. My bad.
Moon Pie became famous.
I like Inquiry more. Though.
Inquiry, yeah. Moon Pie became famous as the working man's lunch. Now our Moon Pie beverage is the working man's reward. Cheers.
Wait a minute. Who the fuck was eating this just for lunch?
I know.
They died from diabetes.
If I was a steel worker and I opened up my lunch pail and there's a fucking moon pie in there.
Where's the rest of my fucking lunch?
I'd be going home in the 40s or 50s to my housewife and being like, "You drunk?"
Which is awful.
You trying to kill me?
I'm gonna get diabetes. I know what the future looks like. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Yeah, I don't think I'd call this the lunch, but like definitely like I can't tell you the last time I had a moon pie, but it's an iconic logo, it's an iconic dessert. I'll say this though, when I was pouring it, I was like, man, that's lighter than the brown ale that we did. This is like a diet cola that is like when you guys ever go to a fountain when you get your own fountain drink and it's running low on syrup. That's what it looks like. Where you take a sip, you're like, fuck, this is carbonated water with like a little bit of syrup in it.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. It's very light. Excuse me. So when they said like rich and decadent, I know they said rich. I was Oh, geez. Sorry. So much burping happening right now.
Rich, smooth, and creamy.
Rich, smooth, and creamy. So I'm going to take a sip right now. Hold on. Here we go. Smooth and creamy. Yes. Rich. I don't know about that. And that's maybe because we've been, I don't know, bombarded. I've got a fucking Hubbard's Cave coffee and cake in my fucking refrigerator right now. And that's fucking
I like coffee
rich.
and cakes.
I like coffee and cakes.
I haven't had that beer.
You've not had coffee and cakes?
I don't think so.
The pancake beer from Hubbard's Cave?
No.
Oh man, good, great. I don't have to drink it by myself. Yes, fantastic. Because I bought. I'll tell you. I'll get into that in a minute. But this, I wouldn't say rich as much as, and this is a good thing. This is like a very approachable pastry stout that's light. It's a light pastry stout.
I agree 100%.
It's nice and sweet and chocolatey and not, but it's light. It's a light drinking stout. It's so tasty.
So I do have 2 more of these.
Oh, man.
Next time, like if we plan ahead, we need to get moon pies and just do a side.
Absolutely.
Even if we just record a little, like I'll do a live or a little like reel or something for the grands.
What we'll do for like a malted minis is we'll French press this with moon pies, but then also for another malted minis, just have this with Brandon's head just exploded. We'll also just eat moon pies and try this side by side because I really do like
just eat moon pies. Whatever. Fat guys.
I don't need. Hey, I don't have. I'm trying to get healthier, but then like ideas like this pop up, and honestly, like this is nice. This is nice. This is like when someone drinks in comparison for like Dragon's Milk of like barrel aged beers. Like barrel aged beers have become so like heavy, which we all like.
Yeah.
We at the podcast really like barrel aged beers that it's just a lot. Like you get everything. It's just full force barrel, full force adjuncts. Or
we're the kind of guys
stout.
that if you want to pour us Utopias at 9 a.m. in the morning, we're like, fuck
we're
yeah,
doing it. We're doing
give us
it.
Utopias.
Yes, this guy gets it. This though is like, man, that's a really nice, like, subtle dessert beer. Like this, I could like bring to people, like share at like a party with people who aren't beer drinkers. Like, hey, by the way, check this out. This is made with moon pies, and everyone would drink it and be like, oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's really nice. It's sweet. It's like a dessert beer. It's like an unoffensive dessert beer.
Yeah, I am probably gonna go back and look. I'm gonna like scour their Instagram to see if they have one, if they have an Instagram. Like in hopes that they like filmed a brew day and like just made some clips because I'd love to see them actually putting the moon pie in.
Dude, I didn't think I was gonna like this when I was pouring it.
Yeah. The other thing I was gonna say is the description is pretty spot on. And the only thing, and I know you'll agree with me too, is the definition of rich. Because it is not rich, and that is a good thing.
Absolutely. I don't want this to be there's plenty of adjuncted stouts. Like I said, we've talked about Hubbard's Cave. I almost got their s'mores beer, like, and I know what I'm getting when I buy that, which is if I buy those stouts that are like that, and I hate to use, like, I'm not shitting on Hubbard's Cave at all because those beers are so decadent and so rich and so great, and like those are beers that I want to share with people. 16-ounce cans.
Yeah.
Can I power through a 16-ounce can? Yes. Should I? My doctor would say no. Don't do that. But it's
your liver would also say no.
My liver would be okay, probably. But like, it's so rich. Like, that's rich and decadent. Like, there's not a richness to this as much as it's like, man, this is so approachable. It's so tasty. This is like, if we brewed this beer, you and I brewed this beer, okay? Like, hypothetically, you and I got together. We're like, hey, man, we're going to brew a beer. You're having a party or I'm having a party. One of us on the podcast are having a party. Let's make a beer that tastes like a moon pie, but also like we don't want it to like push anybody away. We want people to just like enjoy this beer, but also be like, oh yeah, no, I see what you're going with. Like, there's some marshmallow, there's a little bit of cake there, there's some chocolate as well. Like, oh yeah, that's really nice. That's how I feel this beer was made. This beer was made with the idea that you don't have to be someone who loves like highly adjuncted beers. Be like, oh fuck, moon pies. Yeah, I remember moon pies when I was a kid. Let me try this. Oh shit, this is really good. I can taste moon pie, and I'm gonna keep drinking it. I could have 2 pours of this beer and not be turned off by it.
Yeah, it makes me so. One of my favorite fucking snacks when I was uh, a young lard.
Please say zebra cakes. Were they zebra cakes?
Well, no, zebra cakes are good too. But I found myself like I'm not even going to say what we called the store at the end of my block, but there was a grocery store at the end of our block.
Probably racist.
Probably was. I don't know, but it was at the end of our block, and
we didn't know any better. I'm just joking.
They had Star Crunches for like
it probably wasn't racist.
A quarter, a Star Crunch for like a quarter. I would love to have a beer that had Star Crunch.
Dude, that is when I was in 2nd grade, my family moved. We always lived on the northwest side of Chicago, but like where I was more mainly in Portage Park and Cullinan, Milwaukee, there was like this convenience store right at the end. And I remember when we moved in there, it was like the first day we moved in, my sister and I, or maybe my mom and I, went to it, and there was like candy and stuff, whatever, like stuff we just wanted to like convenience store stuff, you know, like get milk, get random stuff that like we just moved in, so let's grab some stuff. And I remember like Pale bubble gum was 1 cent, and there's all this like gum and candy that was like 1 to 10 cents. I'm like, I just moved into the greatest neighborhood ever. Which, by the way, I did
the mini Chico sticks.
Yeah, dude, all that shit. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So all the stuff that you're saying, like when like you could sell those what was it? Those little Debbie chocolate peanut butter wafer things.
Nutter Butters?
Some like yeah, they are Nutter Butters, right? Those are what they're called.
Basically.
No, I thought Nutter Butters are. I thought, what are the cookies? I thought the cookies were Nutter Butters.
Oh, that's a Nutter Butter. Nutty Buddy is the cookie.
Nutty Buddy, there we go. Whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's a chocolate wafer and peanut butter. I don't know the actual name of it, but like you can get those individually because they were just selling them out of that. But that's the kind of thing, like that's what moon pies were for me. But moon pies were actually individually wrapped to sell.
Nutty Buddy was the Little Debbie.
There we go. So Nutty Buddy, you're right. Nutty Buddy, yes, Nutty Buddies are great, man. I learned recently. There he goes. Brandon showing to me on the camera. I just found out a year or 2 ago that if you throw them in the freezer and you eat them frozen, they don't get like super frozen, like or hard or anything because of all the preservatives and shit that's in there, like oil and stuff. Like they're totally bad for you. But dude, cracking one of those open out of the freezer is one of the best things ever. And I need to go back and have a fucking moon pie. I know they have banana moon pies too.
Oh yeah, but now I'm like, oh, I could totally, because I love chocolate and peanut butter. I would totally get down with the Nutty Buddy beer.
It's one of the best combinations ever. Why we haven't gone back? We haven't done Into the Void in like 20 years, which is an exaggeration. But
2020, I think.
Yeah, we're on like 3 years that like we really need to do that because there's like we need to do like 20 gallons of it.
I mean, we should do a big batch.
We really do, or we do like a 5-gallon batch and separate into like individual like 1-gallon batches. But there are just so many things that like I want to do, and like those snack cake things. I'm sorry, I know you're about to say something, but I'm gonna cut you off and just keep talking like I normally do because cosmic brownies are so bad for you. Oh, there goes Brandon. But I just found out that Little Debbie's does ice cream based on all of those things.
Jewel has it.
I know because my daughter loves cosmic brownies, and when she was in Costa Rica, I texted her and I said, "When you get back, I'm gonna get you cosmic brownie ice cream." And I did, and then I tried it, and my life will never be the same again. But they do zebra cakes, they do Swiss rolls. I'm sure there's a Nutty Buddy one.
I can make that ice cream too. Like, give me a couple cosmic brownies.
Oh, Brandon, I already thought about that. I'm calling on you to do that. I have so many ideas for like holiday ice cream cakes that you and I are going to do that I'll talk to you I'm not gonna talk to you off, Mike. Dude, Biscoff. So my daughter just made this ice cream cookie cake where it was like take Oreos with butter and put that as the base, then cookies and cream ice cream, then Cool Whip, and then hot fudge. Or hot fudge and then Cool Whip. And then either way, that was the thing. I was like, oh, that was good. And I said, oh man, what if we did this Biscoff? And then Laura had the audacity to say, not everything has to be Biscoff. And I was like, bro,
Not everyone has to be married.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. But I was like, you love Biscoff. Why would we not do a Biscoff ice cream cake? So like if Biscoff cookie was the bottom and then you did the Biscoff ice cream, put that on there, throw some Cool Whip, and then we took the Biscoff butter, melted it, and then poured it on top. And then we put, by the way, they make Biscoff butter, the cookie butter, chunky with Biscoff cookie chunks in there.
Sons of
throw it out there.
bitches.
But we melt that, put that on top. Dude, that's like a Biscoff ice cream. Oh my God, it's so good.
I do know. So
good.
next time I do make the Biscoff ice cream, I'm going to get the butter, melt that, and like ribbon it through as it freezes.
It's the best thing ever. I want to do more. At some point, the malting hour, as you guys have heard, will become just Brandon and Tony making desserts and jerky and wings. But like this really does hit home of like snack cakes. Like I love zebra cakes. I love the little Christmas ones Little Debbie does, which is basically just zebra cakes, but they form into like Christmas cakes. I haven't had them in years, but I think this year, I think for like stocking stuffers, not stocking stuffers, but like white elephant gifts with people, I'm just going to like buy all the Christmas themed little cakes and give them to everybody. I'll throw them in there and be like, look what you got. You got the fucking Christmas trees and all this other stuff. But I could imagine any other, this brewery, what's the brewery name again?
Naked River Brewing.
Naked River Brewing. What they pulled off here with the moon pie. If they took the same approach to other like little snack cakes or things like this, I think they would knock it out of the park, man, because this is an approachable adjuncted stout that is light, easy drinking, but very tasty. And I'm actually like savoring this beer because I don't want to drink it all the way.
Yeah, I almost finished mine. Can I tell
I
you?
don't want to drink it all the way. But
when I Googled it,
please
it is Naked River Brewing and Barbecue Company.
What?
So if you go there, they have barbecue.
What kind of barbecue?
The kind you put in your mouth.
No, I know, but like, does it sound good?
Well, first thing on their menu is fried pork rinds.
Well, that's a winner right there.
You have my heart. Holy shit!
Wait,
they do.
Is it called You Have My Heart?
No.
Whoa.
They have my heart.
Because that would have been a great name for like pork rinds. Like You Have My Heart. Like
here's an interesting thing. So smoked barbecue. First thing on the menu is pulled pork, obviously. And it says prepared on site in our 1,000 pound smoker with our house dry rub, cooked low and slow over an oak wood fire. So pulled pork. The second thing on their menu is jackfruit.
What?
Yeah.
Jackfruit, like how?
So jackfruit holds the characteristics. If you like, when you open it and like scrape it out or whatever, it has the consistency of pulled pork. They're smoking it and then doing that, and then doing the barbecue and everything, and like it's supposed to be an amazing alternative. I've never had it, but I've heard good things. So then there's brisket, chicken.
Sign me up.
I want turkey, smoked turkey. I love smoked turkey.
Oh, underrated. Smoked turkey, smoked chicken, fucking underrated.
So if we ever find ourselves down in Chattanooga. Yep, Chattanooga.
By the way, every time I hear Chattanooga, I always think of like Chattahoochee. And I hear Chattahoochee, and then Alan Jackson comes in my head.
Way down yonder in the Chattahoochee.
It gets hotter than a hoochie coochie.
Hey, you know what? Everything's all right with the world. Kid Rock's drinking Bud Light again. Like,
finally, Kid Rock is woke. We did it. Kid Rock is a part of us now. Finally, welcome back, Kid Rock. Even though when you released your album and you fucking said, I'm not straight out of Compton, I'm straight out of the trailer, you were born a fucking rich motherfucker in Michigan, and you had this fake Tony's rant. Here we go. You had your fake outrage over Bud Light, and you couldn't even fucking hit the cases of beer yourself that someone off camera was shooting at those cases. And now you're back to drinking Bud Light again. Welcome back, man. Welcome back. Because if I'm not mistaken, we've had Bud Light on this episode, not this episode, but on this podcast.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure we liked Bud Light. So welcome back, Kid Rock. I'm glad you came to your senses. You're woke again. Welcome back, man. I'm glad you're seeing it our way. This Moon Pie Stout is really tasty, man. It's really, really good. This is, man, I think I would have blind taste test. I'd be like, oh, it's a really thin stout, but there's like this sweet vanilla to it that I like. And I think that's where I would have leaned into, which I feel like in a moon pie, the marshmallow is you're getting to that. Oh, Aggie, sorry. We're trying. When you're eating a moon pie, that's what you're trying to get to. Like you like the cake, you like the chocolate, but you're getting to that marshmallow middle. That's what you want when you're having a moon pie. You're aiming to get to that middle, and that's what I feel like I'm getting from this beer. I didn't think I was going to like it, man. I didn't think I was going to appreciate it as much as I did because it's very thin, and it's even lighter than Cola Brown. It's like close to the brown ale, but like, man, it's really tasty.
So that being said, how many moon pies would you give this?
4.25. Absolutely. 4.25. I would drink this again. And you know what's funny? As we're talking about it, and I'm swirling around in my glass, like I think when I poured it, there was some head on it. There's a very minimal head on it, which means like they really did make this. There's like a slick layer on top of it. Like they actually did fucking use moon pies in this, man.
Yeah, so like if you look at the
I like that you looked, by the way, I'm just gonna point out because nobody can see it. You picked up your glass and there's nothing in there.
I know. But I wanted to look to see.
But you looked at it. But you looked at it
oil.
like maybe you would, yeah. But you looked at it like maybe you'd look at the beer. There's nothing in there because it's so good. And you
if you look at the back of the can, on the bottom, like literally it just says in small print. Sorry, like I was like hooked on this thought.
That was the greatest thing ever. I wish these are the times where I wish we had like a live recording. I'm gonna look at my glass. There's no beer in there, but I'm checking if there's a film.
Yeah, I mean, like, what do you do?
Of course, that was the funniest thing. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Made with chocolate moon pies, 8.5% alcohol.
Fuck. This is 8.5%.
Yeah, that's what blew my. That's a point I forgot to bring up. Like, how is this 8.5%?
What did I say? 4.3 on this. 4.25. I said 4.25 confidently. That's 4.35. Like,
yeah,
dude, this is an approachable imperial stout. Like that's a high alcohol stout. Holy shit. That's awesome.
What a fun doesn't beer. Drink like one.
No. It's a fun beer, dude. That's a fun beer. Like, you bring this beer over to a friend's house for like dinner and you say, hey guys, I have a dessert beer. I want you to try it. It's a moon pie beer. Check it out. Try it out. Everybody's going to like it. 100%. Everybody would like it. Even if like,
unless they don't like chocolate.
Well, if you don't like chocolate, you don't like stouts, but like it is an approachable high alcohol stout. Holy shit. That's awesome.
Yeah, 100%. And
4.35.
Dude, so my number was literally gonna be like 4.3.
Wait, hold on. Brandon, how many moon pies are you giving this?
I would give this. I'm in 4.3, 4.4 category.
What a good beer, dude!
For all the same reasons, I can't say enough good things about this. And it was funny because when we went to this gas station, we went to
this was the Buc-ee's gas station.
Yeah, we went to Buc-ee's, and I was literally looking for a drink for myself, and the cabinet that I was looking, the refrigerator I was looking at, one side was, normal people drinks. The other side was beer. And Becky goes, "Are you looking for more beer?" And I was like, "No, wait, should I?" So I was like, "Okay." I looked up and I was like, I said, "There's a moon pie beer." I said, "I'm grabbing it."
This is a throwback to last week's episode, so now you know what he was actually talking about.
Yeah. So I grabbed the moon pie beer and I was like, "Yep, we're doing this." And I'm so glad we did. So glad.
Dude, I'm glad you fucking saw it, and I'm so glad Becca said, "Oh, hey, are you doing this?" And then you did it, and then this is what you came up with.
Yeah.
Because, man, what a fun beer! What a fun beer! Like, I'll tell you this: it's not a knock your socks off beer, but like when you pour it and you look at it, and then you know what you're expecting, and you take a couple sips, like this is a really nice stout, man. This is really good. This is a really fun adjuncted stout. They did a
It's
good
a
job.
very upscale, middle of the road. Like, if you're looking for a middle of the road stout, this is like a couple steps above that. Like this,
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like middle of the road, like pastry stout. Like if you're looking for like a decent, like good pastry stout, this is like a couple steps above like a good decent like, because it's not thick, it's not overpowering, it's very subtle, but all of the flavors come through. Like, yeah.
If you're chasing like super expensive beers and like wanting to just like, oh man, I got this fucking beer, it's so good, and like they charge $40 for $40 for this fucking 16-ounce bottle, and I just fucking, oh my god, it's the best beer ever. They had this special wood made for this little box, and they wax top the bottle, and Beer Advocate gives it 100%, and it's from Toppling Goliath. Oh wait, I never mind. This is not that.
You were borderline like going into sounding like Clark's dad, or Clark when he talks to his dad as a kid. Daddy.
Oh, that's crazy. I did channel. Well, Clark's on my mind. This is not that. This is a fucking beer that like. There's some slight adjuncts in there. It's fun. It's a good, easy drinking beer. Like, you're not gonna like. No one's gonna like put this in the resale market for $40 for a fucking 16-ounce can or a 12-ounce can or whatever.
I don't even remember what I paid for it.
It's really good.
It was
really,
decent.
really tasty. Really good. Really nice. Really approachable. Definitely seek it out. Think you'll enjoy it. It's like drinking a moon pie without it being super sweet and like over the top. Very nice. Very, very good. Great job, Brandon. Great job curating this. I remember saying before we went to the break that we had a bunch of stuff to talk about, but you know what? We're wrapping it up because we went further into this beer than I thought we were going to. Yeah. The only thing I will say is that next week we are going to have a special interview with something that you and I have been trying to do for a while with Temperance. The Temperance out there in Evanston, the first brewery to open up in Evanston once everything got cool to sell alcohol like a brewery in Evanston. Yep. Temperance has a special place in my heart and in Clark's heart. Unfortunately, Clark won't be joining us for the episode. But
did you ask him?
I did. He's got stuff going on, and plus he's already home by that time. But Temperance was one of the first breweries I got a chance to like take a look at while it was being built. And cool. We've done some stuff with Temperance, some Might Meets Right stuff and other beers, but we now have a chance to sit down and have an interview. So next week we'll have that. We got Oktoberfest beers coming up. We got pumpkin beers coming up, and that's leading all the way up into, this year's Bourbon Counties, some more Revolution Deepwoods. We got Fobab coming up. We've got Christmas. We've got the Maltese. We got Thanksgiving. We're here. We're about to start rounding out the tail end of, our, what year is this? 6, 5, 4. 5. Oh shit! We're about to start our fifth. Are we about to start our 5th year or end our 5th?
No, we're ending our 5th year.
Son of a bitch! 5 years.
I think. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look.
The greatest thing is for how many things we put out, we are closer to 200, but we're only on like 100 for all the shit we do in between. We're like at like 117. It's insane. But anyways, we got a lot of stuff coming up for the end of the year. So thank you everybody for listening. As always, we appreciate it.
Much
Remember
appreciated.
to keep
Aggie loves
listening.
you.
Aggie loves it too. Like Aggie is now pawing at Brandon. It's
She's like,
adorable.
sit on the couch with me, fucker.
Yeah, seriously. Well, Brandon and I are both going to do the same thing. Once Brandon will be on the couch sooner than I am because I got to throw this all together to post it. But everybody keep liking, and if you're not subscribed, I don't know how you're listening to this, but subscribe, rate it, please, share. We appreciate everybody. There's a lot more coming from the Malting Hour. We're going to be a little bit more, organized coming for 2024. It's going to be great. But Brandon, I love you, buddy.
Love you too, buddy.
Hold on. As I'm saying that to Brandon, like I normally do, Aggie is putting her paw in front of Brandon's face.
Dude, I
It's
don't know where your
adorable.
paws have been.
Yeah. Litter box and on the ground. All right, I'm gonna try this one more time. Brandon, I love you, buddy.
Love you too, bud.
And thanks everybody for listening. And keep on listening. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Cheers.
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 Beers. This has been The Malting Hour. Be sure to follow us on all social media by searching The Malting Hour and at themaltinghour.com. You can also follow us individually on social media. Brandon can be found on Instagram as BMDub81, on Twitter, BDub81, and on Untapped as BDubDrinksBeer. Tony can be found on Instagram and Untapped under Ace of Help Chicago, on Twitter, The Ace of Help Chicago. Clark can be found as Clarkowski on all three. Dan can be found on Instagram as hip__hops and hip hops on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, like, and rate the show on your preferred podcast listening platform. Until next time, cheers from all of us at The Malting Hour.